Going live. Today you're with Patrick and Lordiel. And Patrick is going to explain to you more about structured water and the infinity wave. He is really going to give you a lot of information. And I also have some links on the description that you can click on, which will take you to a page that will tell you more about the infinity wave and structured water. And also you'll be able to sample it, actually feel what it does for you. It's really, really great. As most of you know that know me, I'm all about the mind, the body, and the soul. And that's why I'm so connected to Patrick, because he actually covers all three. You may ask, how can a guy that's, all about water covering the mind and the soul? Well, trust me, when you learn more about the structured water, you will understand how you can evolve, become more enlightened, all the things that you want to do spiritually, and you have, you just find difficulty in doing so. You will be able to do it with ease, and you will become more of who you are without any struggles. And you'll also be able to go through life a little less painful. In today's world, everywhere, someone and everyone is going through many, many things. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. We all have our battles, and we struggle through them. But with these two things, the structured water and infinity wave, it will help your struggles be less of a struggle. You'll be able to get into flow and flow with it and accept it and not fight it so much and not fight against the world and have the world fighting against you. But you'll be more open to just enjoy all that you are and all that is flowing to you, and share it with others. So with that said, I'm anxious to get on so you can listen to Patrick, and both of us will share. But Patrick has a lot of information to share with you, and I'm anxious for you to hear it, to receive it, and to experience it. It will be a great, great experience for you if you choose to find out more about it. And with that said, Patrick, thank you once again for being here with me and for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences, and so much more. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my God. It is such a pleasure. I'm hearing some significant feedback. Are you hearing that?
I hear it when you speak, yes.
Okay, why don't I talk for a couple minutes? Maybe you mute your microphone and I'll go ahead and talk. We won't have as short a back and forth, but let's see if we get, it sounds good now. Okay, great. So this is my favorite topic about water, because this is the part that like swept me off my feet. People ask me, do I date? I'm like, no, I got water. I went to a conference and this woman was like, it's really nice to meet you and your wife water. And I was like, wow, I really have like changed the context for living and understanding my life. And it was so unexpected, right? Like, who knew that a journey to get rid of plastic bottles could become so interesting? A discussion about hydration could lead to the illumination and feeling like I'm in partnership in living my life with my soul. Like that the most important thing for me now, when people ask, well, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what are you achieving? What are your goals? I just want to be the full expression of my life's purpose and live my soul's journey. That's it. That's what I want to do. So when you speak of the word struggles, I've even redefined that to opportunities. So I had a extraordinary case of poison ivy recently. It was massive, and it appeared on Monday, and I was traveling to the desert, to Arizona, on Saturday. And I was like, oh man, this is not gonna be okay on Saturday. Like, this can't happen. And so I'm getting goosebumps sharing this with you. And this is what my life is like now. This is like, I'm so connected to the flow of what I am here to express that I get these affirmations as I'm speaking. So what I want to share happened with this poison ivy is it's like it happened to the body of Patrick, but it didn't, I didn't become it. I didn't get bogged down in it. I didn't itch. What I did do was use massive amounts of essential oils, prayers, and trips to the ocean. And between those three things throughout the day, from Monday to Saturday, it transformed. And I was basically in the done stage by Saturday. I was okay. And then I went on this trip.
I thought you was going to say that you soaked in structured water, but you said massive trips to the ocean. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a great pickup on your part. And something happened on my trip that has me giving a little more deference, bowing down humbly to nature, and recognizing that the original structured water is nature's structured water. And what we do with our devices is that we do our best to imitate it, right? We bring it into our homes in the best and highest vibration possible. So here's what happened. Well, I want to get one concept out there to help people, and then I want to explain the story of what happened to me. So the concept is from Einstein, when he said the field, meaning the energy field, is the sole governing agency of the particle. And what he means by that is what happens in the energetic fields, the quantum fields, determines what happens in matter in our physical world. And why that's so important is that I've shifted the context for understanding my life. Like, there was a point at which it was given in a mental capacity through curriculum, education, media, all the shoulds and ways we're supposed to be, that we live in this world, that's how I thought. I tried to be a good person. Well, now I don't want to be a good person anymore, because a person is a definition of all of that structure. And that's not the structure that I want. What I want to be is my God self. I want to be an integration of my spiritual side and my physical side, living joyfully, a fully vibrant, self-expressed.
I love it.
Right? So my authority, the place where definitions are given, is now my heart and the energy field. It's not all those shoulds. So my family, I mean, the poor people, like, they're really good people, and they want what good people want. So they want me to participate in family the way we're supposed to. And a big part of that is traditions like birthdays and holidays. And I've just told them, I'm out. Like, if you want the kids on those days and you want to, like, make celebrations that make you happy, do it. If you want the kids on their birthdays and you want to, don't get me involved. Don't ask me what presents they want or any of that. Just contact the kids and do your thing with them, because I'm not really participating in those things anymore. Every day for me is a day to treat them like it's their birthday. Every day is a day to have it be Mother's Day and Father's Day and Christmas and all those excuses that we have. I just want to live that every day. And I'm not perfect at it. I don't celebrate every moment of my life, but that's my joy, is seeing where I am on that path and just unfolding it more and more. And all of this shift has occurred in 4 years inside of a context of shifting to understanding that this energy field is the sole governing agency of my life. So I seek to interact with the energy field, and that's what I do with the structured water and the infinity life. Now we're ready for the story. So if I hadn't been there and I hadn't experienced it myself, I wouldn't believe it. And I checked my shin bone this morning, 3 weeks after this happened, and it still hurts. So I know it's real, and this is the first video I've made about it. I've been holding back. So what happened was, I went hiking in Zion National Park with 2 of my kids. And we got a couple hours in, and that's where you start to get away from the masses of people, and you start to just get with the few. And there comes a point in the road where there's a waterfall. It's only about 8 or 10 feet high. and we decided to go up it. And then there's another waterfall. And there's big trees and boulders, and you have to climb over them. And until we got to that first waterfall, I was pretty much dry. And we had been, I'm sorry, the stages were hiking in water for a couple of hours. We're about knee deep in water, but it was passable. And now it started to get where you needed to take a little more risk. You needed to have a little more skill and a little more balance to keep going. Well, we went up through 14 waterfalls.
Wow.
We got to the 15th. It's called the Guillotine. And it's called the Guillotine because it's this huge boulder. And boulder's not even the word. It's a river-stopping rock in the middle.
Wow.
And then there's...
I'd love to see the pictures.
Yeah, we haven't sorted them yet, but I will share with you personally for sure. 20 feet above that is air, for the next 20 feet above that boulder. And then there's another one just as big on top, pointed down, and that's why the Guillotine, right?
Wow.
And that one has a tree growing out of the top of it. Right? The plants are so resilient. So my son, who is 13, he climbed the Guillotine, that first rock, 20 feet up of just, he's like 130 pounds of muscle, and he just did it. And his sister and I watched from below, and we just applauded him. And he went another 10 minutes upstream, and then he turned around and came back, and we started heading back. And when we got to the second to last waterfall, I jumped, and I folded one of my legs so my heel was up against my butt. I'm pretty flexible, so that was no problem for me. But as I landed, I didn't jump far enough, and my shin landed on a rock that was underwater.
Oh.
And I stood in the small pool of water there, and it just hurt so much I didn't even want to look. We were hours from home, hours from safety. There were no options about what there was to do. There was no opportunity to like sit down and be hurt because nobody was coming. And so after a couple of minutes, my son and I decided to pull my leg out of the water and look at it. And it was already swollen, about like a ½ inch out, a little bit like a horseshoe.
Wow.
I said, James, do you see the blue? And he said, Dad, it's blue. Your leg is blue. And there was a cut down the middle. I was like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Don't tell your sister. I don't want to talk to her about it. Like, I don't need any, I just need to go inward. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start walking. You supply me with water so I can keep my stride and just keep moving. Like he was carrying the backpack. Just keep coming up to me and give me the bottle, and anything that's in my way that'll slow me down, just like help me over it, give me a hand. And we're gonna walk out of here. He's like, you're gonna be okay? I was like, we don't have any choice. So I started walking, and it's hot, and we would stop for drinks. And whenever we would stop, I would keep the leg underneath the water. And water is all vortexing. It's spinning. I don't know if you can feel the energy right now from my body, but all that energy in water is spinning. It's like our structured water devices. It's like the infinity wave. And I walked for over 2 hours. Just kept going. You know, maybe brief pauses, but always keeping the leg underwater. When we got back and we took my leg out of the water, the blue was gone, the bruising was gone, and the next morning the cut was gone.
Woo! Yes.
And it's 21 days late. What's today? Today's Wednesday. It's 20 days later right now, and I just ran my fingers on the bone. There is an indentation on the bone, and it is still like sore in there. So it happened, and it was real, and I experienced a miraculous healing.
Wow, awesome,
Right?
awesome. I love it, I love it. Now, with all that said, I want you to briefly give a definition of structured water.
Well, I'm gonna say what it is for me.
Okay.
And I don't anticipate another human being to get it, but for me, structured water is God. Okay? So how I get there is everything in our universe is water. It's not just like 70% by volume of your body that's water, which is like 90% when you're born and 50% if you're 100 years old. It's 99% of your molecules are water. The creator of this universe made all the little micro parts of you and me and everything that we see around us, water. So it's the water that connects the information, the energy, the memory, the thoughts, that gives us access to the infinite. It's the water. And when there's a fence down the street here toward the ocean, and there's some vines growing up it. And there's some vines growing up my house. And I could see that if humans just stopped paving and building and doing all that they did, these plants filled with water and these storms and everything, the earth would just reclaim everything that we've done and redistribute it through water. Water could take a motor of an engine on a boat that crashes in the sea and falls out into the ocean and turn it into rust and turn it into nothing and turn that back into organic material. So that's my definition of water. Water is my partner in life. Water is what I live in. It's what I honor. It's what I thank. It's what I ask. It's water. So other people's definitions of water, structured water is nature's water. So it's like the vibrant stuff, like that story I just told you about Zion National Park. There's no doubt about the energy of that water. I carried a water bottle at home. I have it upstairs so that I can have access to that energy anytime. So it's water that's ordered, structured. When people think energy and water, usually they think temperature change, like we're going to heat it up and turn it into a steam or vapor, or we're going to cool it down, turn it into ice. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, like, my blue bottle on my desk here has a sacred geometric symbol on it, and that symbol was channeled through a human being by a water consciousness. Rainey Marie Hiley, she wrote a book called The Water Code. She gave us this symbol. It came through her. That symbol carries the energy to awaken our DNA. That's structuring the water. This is my newest device. Is a sync device, the Javara 3-in-1 we call it, because we can put a funnel on it and have it be portable, or we can put it on a sink, or we can put it on a shower. It's 24 karat gold plated. It's got crystals, rose quartz, shungite, EM ceramics, 10 different gems inside of it. That changes water. It structures water, creates order in the water. So that's what this whole discussion is about in my life. Is Einstein said it's the field, it's the energy field. So I'm living my life changing the energy field of water. And the context of struggle, it's like it just doesn't even exist anymore. It's not that stuff doesn't happen. It's not like 3D pain doesn't come along. It's just it's not the context for understanding. So when that 3D pain comes along, if I was closed and I resisted that pain, I don't know how that day would have gone, right? In Zion National Park. But what I was like open. Like when something like that happens to me, the first thought that comes up now is, I wonder what the opportunity is for me in this. I wonder why I'm being shown this experience, to live this experience for some awareness for my soul. What is it? You see the excitement in my face? I can feel the excitement in my face. It's like, I want to know, like, why did I crash my shin into that rock? That I feel a lot of energy in my shin right now. What's the opportunity? What's going to come of this? And what I got was a miraculous healing. Whoa.
You look like a little boy talking about it.
I,
Yeah, but as you
I,
were speaking about it,
I am. You
I
know,
know you look like it, but I could also hear people saying, yeah, but I drink filtered water. I go to the spring, I drink spring water, and I climb too. So why isn't that good enough?
yeah. Well, it is good enough. It's just what experiences are you having? So wherever you are, I mean, geez, I was financial advisor in the hospital in the middle of the night. I called an ambulance for myself. I was home alone that night because my kidneys hurt so much.
Mm.
And why did my kidneys hurt so much? Is because I had no flow in my life. Feel the energy. I was willfully determined to make money and support my family. That
Mhm.
was driving my life. Inside of that, the universe is like, try and send me flow, and I didn't feel it. I just want more money, right? So my kidney said, dude, you are not living in a way that you're fulfilling your soul's purpose. We got to get your attention here. We're going to have a little breakdown. We're going to have an episode because you need to think differently to fulfill your purpose.
Yeah, you were too much in the body.
Way too much. So for that person who hikes and goes to the spring, yay! You're on the journey. Congratulations. Celebrate yourself, and your insights are tremendous. I'll celebrate them with you. You know, people call me and talk about water all the time. I teach my course, Water Magic. It's all about making this the context for understanding. So one of the keys is wherever a person is perfect. And there's a circumstance there that's going to help them learn something that's preparing them to manifest fully, joyfully, vibrantly their soul's purpose. So if you can get the step that you're at today with love, appreciation, insight, a sense of oneness, this type of context for living, then you're on your way. So that's where the infinity wave comes in. Because 4 years ago, that guy who quit being a financial advisor, like that was the last day I worked. That day I went to the hospital. I was like, I never went back to work
Mm.
after that. I went on a leave of absence, and after the leave of absence, we sat down and talked, and they're like, the team was like, I'm not coming back. Like, I don't have anything to contribute here. So I jumped out on my own, and I was still, that same guy, but now in healing mode.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took about 2 years to undo some things and become more receptive. And then I learned the infinity wave. And the infinity wave, let's define that, right? So people know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's an energetic tool. It was channeled by Hope Fitzgerald of the Wave Energy Center for Conscious Evolution. It's described itself as a 10th dimensional energetic. And it is here to teach us about love and compassion and to assist us in our evolution. Now, those words at the beginning of the journey had no meaning to me. Like, what? Huh? What does that mean? But Hope said, well, let me show you. And she taught me a practice, and then I used the practice when I was in an emotional state of anger,
Mm-hmm.
and I shifted to peace. Oh, okay, good. I mean, I think we all can recognize if I'm angry, I'm filling my own vessel, my own life with energy that's going to come back on me in a way that I don't want, right? I think it's easy to say, if you're living in anger, just, watch out, right? So, first there's like completely unconscious anger. And then there's like, well, I really want to forgive this person for something, and I just can't do it. And there's needing help and support in that stage of anger. And then there's the shift in context all the way to, well, if everything's oneness, then the oneness that's outside of my physical body has shown me an experience to give me the opportunity to know love and oneness more, right? Those are stages of moving from anger and forgiveness to a more empowering context that came from me. So I learned this simple tool, the Infinity Wave, which I think you've posted a link for, because
I have.
awesome. Thank you for doing that. Hope Fitzgerald's mandate is to give the Infinity Wave away. And the Infinity Wave has explained itself to Hope and myself as being the energy of water. So structured water in this bottle is the physical structured water. But if I'm going to live as my God self, I have the physical and I have the non-physical. The Infinity Wave is the non-physical representation of the same energy. So when I summon it, I'm summoning the same energy. I'm still learning how to work with that. So if that sounds like a little inaccessible to people, they don't quite know, all you do is like, you have an emotion, you call on the Infinity Wave, you see your emotional state change, you celebrate. That's all you do. And then, you know, you say prayers to the Infinity Wave, you ask it for different things. I went and found a couple of testimonial, not testimonies, but just shared experiences that people said. I'll just read two of them. Sherry B wrote, I spent 35 years in therapy trying to stop repeating patterns from the abuse in my childhood. It wasn't until I learned to practice the Infinity Wave that I was able to reclaim my life for good. In the workshops, I learned how to center myself even when faced with very tough circumstances. And then another one, I just love the Infinity Wave. To learn it was a peaceful and joyous experience in and of itself. The more remarkable part was how in such a short time I was able to feel a totally different sense of myself. I'm using the Infinity Wave all the time now to find balance, to reduce stress, to create favorable outcomes in meetings and negotiations. This is an amazing technology that can help people with various stresses they are dealing with in today's world. That was from Hannah Noel, the editor of Organic Life magazine. So I just love that, don't you, Lordiel? When we have people that are in pain, and they can just summon something up, use it anytime, anywhere, just by going within, focusing for a minute, and they could change outcomes.
I really do. What I'd like to add is that once again, I want to say that there are no mistakes. And if you are here with us today, or you're listening whenever you're guided to listen, you are doing so because it's your time. It's your time to find you mentally, physically, and spiritually. And in the description, there's a link. It will take you to more information on the Infinity Wave and in structured water. I myself, I adore structured water. It's I use it all the time. It flows through me. As Patrick said, it's God. And each of us is God. We represent God. So don't you want to be the better part as much as you can be? And you can try this out, the Infinity Wave, absolutely just by clicking the link. It won't cost you anything but some time. Time that's well worth it, and time that will take you to the next phase in your life. And then you might be encouraged to add in structured water, or you might not. It's okay. It depends on where you're at. But whatever you need at this time, you have been guided here to listen to us. And Patrick has told you a lot of amazing stories. And why can't your life be amazing too? Maybe it is. Maybe you want it to be better than it is. Maybe you just want to be in that flow. And you can. There's nothing stopping you but you. So I encourage you strongly, click on that link. If you don't want to do it right now, wait till you have some more time to just allow yourself to receive, and then do so. I just had to say that. Thank you.
That's beautiful. I have one more thing to share with our audience, Lordiel, which is the concept that's really helped me a lot on this journey, which is two types of energy: discordant and harmonious. That's it. They're either causing the energy field that I am to line up more in alignment with my God self, or they're causing breakdown and chaos and struggle. So what I've learned to do with the Infinity Wave energetically and the structured water in my body is discern types of energy. Like whatever we focus on, that's what the universe will answer for us. So I want to know how to live as my God self. Since everything is energy, I have to develop discernment in energy to realize my dream. So I've noticed that if I go multiple hours, when we hiked in Arizona, the one agreement I made with my son, because he's very strong, before we left, is it would really support my body if you would carry all of our water on the whole trip. Like, you'll build more muscle doing that, and my body won't have like a shoulder strap or something on my waist that might get me out of balance. And he agreed to that deal. So we were great with our water. We always had lots of water, and we did awesome with it. Well, yesterday we went for a long hike here. It's our first one since we got home. And because we're not in Arizona, we left the house without thinking of the water. So we hiked farther than normal because we're in really good shape right now. And we both got dehydrated. And I noticed as I got dehydrated that I got sore in my joints. That my feet, as they needed to flex on the rocks and stuff, that they felt like they weren't going to do it as well, and it started to like tense up. And I also noticed the flow with my son, which usually when we're in nature, it's extraordinary. We just flow so well together. Like it was a little cranky. Like it didn't flow as well. So I've learned through these experiences to notice the impact that water has on something like that. To notice my emotional state, the way I rest at night, everything as related to how much water that I've had. And so as you start to discern discordant energy and harmonious energy, and you use the infinity wave and you use structured water, you will develop a keen sense for these things. And as you do so, in my experience of life, you'll be aligning with God, with flow, with life, with your soul purpose, with exactly who you're here to be. And that's why Lordiel is sharing this with you all, because, you know, I've found this through water, and let's tell the world about that. It's pretty cool. You know, it's right there under our noses, and it's not real expensive, and it doesn't require an ongoing investment. It's just like tuning you into you so you can be you at the most joyous level. So I offer the tools of discord and harmony. And every time you discern an energy is either moving you toward harmony and moving you away from it, congratulate yourself, appreciate yourself, know that I am applauding you, and just keep finding those things that bring harmony. And as you do so, you will align more with your purpose and what you came here to do in this lifetime.
Right. And I'd like to say that if you have any questions at all, Patrick, will you give your number and email address? So if people want to contact you, all they have to do is say they listen to this video and they have some questions.
That is my pleasure. You can reach the Wellness Enterprise, which I most often answer the phone, at 857-254-9880, 857-254-9880. And you can email us at support at, and it's 3 words together, and the first word is the, support at the Wellness Enterprise, that's ENTERPRISE.com, support at the wellnessenterprise.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to support you on your journey. Of course, we sell the most awesome water devices in the world. They raise the vibration of water. They raise the vibration of you. And if we can help you to understand that, we would just welcome the opportunity and promise just to love you right up when you call.
Thank you so much, Patrick, for just being here today. I just love it every time you are. And to each and every one of you, I send my blessings, and may love be your guide. Namaste.
Namaste.